come groom Nancy with me. So I'm not a groomer, I'm a mom of 11 dogs, and I just taught myself how to groom. I start by dampening the coat and adding the shampoo on the worktop first before I go to the bath. I feel like if I put them straight in the bath, the shampoo comes straight off in the water. I like to give them a soak as well, so I'll start off by lathering up the coat on the worktop before I put them in the bath. As you can see, I'm adding the shampoo and wetting my hands at the same time, just to lather up the coat. I bought this brush thinking it would be amazing. You fill it full of shampoo and it's meant to lather up, but I've done that and it didn't work, so I just use it as a brush now to lather up, and I just apply the shampoo directly on the coat instead. As you can see, I'm using the jug to tip over a head, but a trick I've learned is to hold my hand over, slightly opening my fingers so the water can trickle in onto her face without drowning her, without going up her nose. Because obviously she would fret and she wouldn't like it, and I don't want to drown the poor dog. I've started cleaning the ears while they're in the water, so they can have a little chill in the warm suds while I sort their ears out. I find if I do it on the worktop, they start pithering about and moving around a lot. They still do in the bath, but it makes it easier and they're getting a bit of a soak while I'm doing it. Nancy has quite yeasty ears at the moment, so there's quite a lot of discharge coming off on the cotton bud, so I have to make sure that I start cleaning them on a regular basis now. Time to let the water out, and then I apply another shampoo onto her coat just to give it a thorough clean, and then lather it up again. After that I apply a conditioner as well, just to make sure the coat's nice and soft for when I blow dry and groom. Final rinse, I use the tap, the jets from the tap, so the water that's coming out is nice and clean, so we've got no sort of stuck in the coat. Look at that little Ewok. So I'll dry her all off. She's only got a single coat, so she's quite easy to groom, to be honest. It's not thick. Doesn't get matted, dries really easy. So we dry her off with the hairdryer I got off Christie's Direct. I can't think of the name, but if you want to know, I will let you know. Use a little slicker brush just to try and keep it knot free, but there's no knots in it anyway. And we have to make sure we pay extra attention to the ears as well, especially because they're yeasty. We need to make sure they're nice and dry. Everyone's horror, I'm actually using a 10 blade on Nancy, and the reason being is her coat grows very, very slow. It's summer and I wanted to make the legs appear longer than the body, so if I'd have gone for a longer blade you wouldn't notice at all that I need a cutter. So 10 on this occasion is perfect. because I want to see the little flared legs and the short body. Always use trimmers or a clipper up the bum area, the hygiene area. Never scissors, because you don't want to cut their poor bum holes. And make sure you're extra careful around their little private parts, because you don't want to cut those either. You'll see that I'm holding Nancy's ears up. I'm not hurting her, I'm not grabbing her. I know her eyes look like they're about to pop out of her head, but I'm just keeping her head in position. When she starts trying to pull away, I do let go, because I don't want to cause her any pain. We just need to keep the ears out of the way, because we don't want to cut those off. As you can see, I'm only cutting down to the shoulder area. Reason being, I've been trying to grow Nancy's legs since she was a puppy. Her fur grows so slow, so I just tend to trim around the paw area. I've swapped to the trimmers now to do her underneath. She's so tiny and delicate. Don't want to catch any nipples, don't want to catch any skin on her armpits. So I do find that they're more gentle on the skin and easier to use and lightweight and quieter. On the paws, I use an even smaller trimmer to get in between the paw pads. Obviously she's being a bit resistant and it is a bit tedious at times, but we get there in the end. I need to sort of clear the area so I can find the nails and I can give them a clip. We do struggle with the dew claws when you do grow the legs out, trying to locate them, but you must cut these because they tend to curl round and then grow into their actual paw pad, which is so painful for them. You've probably noticed that I do one paw at a time, so I shave the pad, clip the nails and trim the paw. Reason being, if I did all the paw pads in one go or all the nail clipping in one go, the dog gets annoyed, starts pulling away, and it gets frustrating for both of us. So I find doing one paw at a time mixes it up a bit for me and the dog, and it's more tolerable for both of us. Here I was contemplating a top knot. Should I? Shouldn't I? No. Shave it off. So I use a longer blade on this, and I use my Andes clippers. Just keep the longer blade on there, and I try and blend it all in. Again, I hold the ears up so I can do the sides of the face. Blend it all in. The trick is to keep combing and keep using the clippers to blend it in. Time to trim the eyes. I use tiny curved scissors. She's a tiny dog. She's got a lovely high nose and a nose roll, so you have to be so careful that you don't chop off the nose roll. I have caught it before in the past and it makes me physically sick. Poor doggies. She's fairly good now at having her eyes done, but I do have to either lift the ears up and hold the ears to do it, or hold the chin. I do find they prefer me to hold the ears instead of the chin, so depending on what dog I'm grooming is what way I hold them in place. Again, I'm using the curved scissors on the beard, and I like a nice rounded face, so I go all the way up to the ear. You don't need lots of weight in the chin area. I use my clippers and clipper in the opposite direction to take a lot of the weight out, and this helps it look less bushy At the end of the day, you don't want too much chin hair because they'll only get the food stuck in it anyway, so I just sap it off. Use my chunkers to create a bit of shape around the head and to take some of the weight off the head as well. I don't just use the clippers, I do use chunkers and thinners as well. I do like a nice round head, like I said. Made a major balls up here. I picked up the run clippers, and instead of using the longer blade on my undies, I picked up my other ones with a shorter blade, and I've given a bit of a Lego clip-on style. Obviously unintentional. Luckily I'm not a groomer for profession, and it's just for fun. It's something I enjoy doing. Hair does grow back and we learn by our mistakes. I'm trying to blend it in there, but I don't think it's gonna work. So I'll just concentrate on her face and make her face look pretty, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm going to be looking at. Here I'm shaving off a moustache with a tiny trimmer. I love that snooty look, and this really emphasises that top lip. They look so kissable and adorable. And now I'm just blending it all in, so there's no spiky bits. Just tidying up the legs a little. No sort of real shape because she hasn't got enough hair yet, but I just make it look nice and neat. And also trim underneath again with the shaver, not the clipper, tidying everything up under the armpits, the belly, around the teats. Don't want to cut her, like I say, and just going over the little places that I might have missed. Again, I do the same with the blenders on the top of the head. Noticing that big wig look, but thinking, oh well, we'll just concentrate at the front and make it look pretty from the front, because that's what I'm going to be looking at the most. One last go over with the clippers just to make sure there's no lines, make sure she's all smoothed out. The chest area is always difficult because the hair grows in different directions, so I just manoeuvre the clippers to sort of accommodate that. And I think she's looking okay. Find the end of the tail, I twist, and then I cut. I see other groomers do this. Works out a nice shape, so I just copied. Here's some spray, Boogalugs, smells quite nice. And then she's ready. Bless her. Tried to get some still shots. She's a little bit tired though, eyes getting sleepy, and she's asleep. Thanks for watching, everyone.